Hi, this is Beth Kovacs, and I'm reporting for Boulder Community Media. We're here at the morning showing of Freedom Riders, which is for students only. The kids are excited about learning more about the civil rights movement, and after talking to some of the teachers, we found that this is something that they really don't know a whole lot about. But for the kids, I really think it's all about the extra credit. We're here with
Kat Bragg,
Caitlin May.
And what school are you girls from?
Fairview. Right now in history, we just finished World War I, so we are kind of coming up on this issue, and Miss Campbell-Hale offered us extra credit if we came and see this.
So it's kind of a 2-for-1. You get to see a great movie and get a little extra credit for it.
Yeah, definitely.
I teach U.S. history and U.S. government, so it's a natural fit. Many of my kids have no knowledge at all of the Black civil rights movement, which is for somebody my age unbelievable. I just want them to understand that they're part of democracy and that things you have to be involved.
Hey, we're here with
Max Klein.
and
Teal Witter.
and what school are you boys from?
I'm from Watershed.
I'm from Platt Middle School.
What brought you out here today to see Freedom Riders?
It looked like a really cool piece, so I decided to come out here when
The 9th and 10th graders of my school recently went out to the South to visit historical centers, and for MLK Day we were required to come to school and participate in the march, so it's sort of interesting to see how a more detailed version of the history of the Freedom Riders.
We are very fortunate to have Congressman Lewis here with us. We just watched the movie Freedom Riders, in which he helped to account the experience of the civil rights movement in the 1960s. One of the big questions that I have is, even though we've made wonderful strides in this nation since that time, there are still some issues that need to be addressed. And I'm just wondering if you could talk to us a little bit about how you see the changing face of civil liberties issues in the United States right now.
During the 60s, we had to fight for our civil liberties in order to be able to fight for civil rights. We have a right to speak up and speak out. We have a right to dissent. We have a right to protest. Dr. King used to say, the time is always right to protest for what is right. There's certain rights are God-given rights, and no government, no power should be allowed to trample over those rights.
Well, I'm Dr. Gina Honeyman, originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm based here in Boulder now. Oklahoma's not the deep South, but there was still the same sentiment. There was still segregation, there was active KKK, and I grew up from day one. I was born in '55, the year Rosa Parks sat in the front of the bus. So I was always just immersed with the news, with civil rights. That's what was happening. A black man is walking toward us on the sidewalk one day, me and my mother out shopping, and I was kind of interested to know, why did he get off and walk in the street as he got closer to us? And my mother said, "Oh, that's Jim Crow." And so as he got closer, I said, "Hi, Jim." I had no clue what Jim Crow meant. I just thought that was the man's name. It was a very clear picture of what was going on in society right there in our little town.
What I would like to know is, if there's one message you could give me to carry forward to the teachers that I work with, what would that be?
Tell the story. Continue to tell the story. Educate. Inspire our young people. When I was growing up in a segregated school, and I had a wonderful teacher who told me over and over again, said, "Read, my child, read." And I tried to read everything. My family was too poor to have a subscription to a newspaper, but my grandfather had one. And every day when he finished reading his newspaper, I would get that newspaper. I read about Montgomery. I read about Tuskegee. And get young people to read and travel. You can go to the library. In 1956, when I was 16 years old, so inspired by Dr. King, some of my brothers and sisters and first cousins, we went down to the public library, trying to get library cards, trying to check out some books. And we were told by the librarian that the library was not for colors, it was only for white. I never went back to that library, not the same building, until July 5th, 1998. By this time I'm in the Congress for a book signing of my book. Hundreds of blacks and white citizens showed up. We had food, we have something to drink, a wonderful program. I signed a lot of books, and at the end of the program, they gave me a library.
Thank you.
This has been Beth Kovacs reporting for Boulder Community Media.